Hey, welcome back to Verbal Tea, the journaling podcast, where we focus more on our own inner voices than the voices of those around us. Today is another teaspoon. It's a little teaspoon with myself, your host, Globe, and our co host, SheRa Renee. Before I bring her on, I want to tell you guys why we're doing this early in the month this time. We're doing it because she's new. I just threw her in here, but you guys don't really know her like I do. So today we are going to focus on getting to know more about her amazing work and why she's part of the Tea Party. I introduce to you Shira Renee.
Hey,
Hey.
how are you?
I am so great. I'm happy that you're here, as
I'm
always.
excited too.
I love how we just like surprise everyone with this. Even though we talked about it for weeks, we just kept it under wraps.
Yeah, everybody was like, "What? I knew it. I knew it." No, they didn't. They didn't
No.
know. They didn't know. That was hard though because we talked to everybody
Mhm.
literally all day, every day,
All day,
and
every day.
to be a podcaster and not be able to talk about something is like the hardest secret to hold. But it was good. It was worth it. We got great responses.
Oh, so great. Everybody's so excited, as they should be. You add just a beautiful flair and additional
Oh,
magic to the tea party.
I appreciate it. I'm so excited to be here. This is my favorite show.
Oof. Yes, and I'm a loyal member of the Blemish Beauty podcast. I love being a part of the beauties because it's so
Thank
great.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
So, as you guys have probably heard on the previous episode, and if you haven't heard the previous episode, you need to check that out because Nikki Nicole dropped some gems. So does SheRa Renee. They both dropped gems about freedom. It's good. But she mentioned that she's on the Blemish Beauty podcast. That is her podcast, and she is on season 3 of that. And so she is all about healing and reflection. So she's a perfect fit for us. I just wanted her to tell a little bit more about that podcast and what made her focus on healing and self reflection and motivation when it came to podcasting.
So, the Blemish Beauty podcast was something that I just pressed play and did, right? So, I have been married, like I told my listeners, I've been married twice and I've also been divorced twice. But this last relationship of mine was kind of a tough one. So, in that relationship, I didn't really have, well, I didn't want to say I didn't have a say, but I felt like I didn't have a say. So, I kept a lot of things internalized, right? So the podcast for me was initially my virtual safe space. So it was a place for me where I can press play and just get all my feelings out, tell people what I was going through, what I was learning in real time. And then after the responses that I got, and people were really resonating with what I was saying, I was like, okay, so this is really a thing. Like people are really loving what the content is. So I kind of pivoted and said, okay, I'm going to niche down. That's what they say in podcasting. I'm going to niche
Yes.
down and I'm going to focus on mental health because I really do believe that a lot of the things that we do and a lot of things that we've gone through stem from childhood traumas and things that we've done growing up. So I really wanted to bring that element to the world because there's so many podcasts, but I wanted to put something informative out. I
Mhm.
wanted to help our generation, help our gender, help, just our millennials, let them know that Jesus and therapy goes hand in hand because they shy away from therapy. But if we realize that we can really be okay and not just say we're okay, the world would be a better place. So that's what the Blemish Beauty podcast is all about.
Oof, and I love it. It comes on twice a week. Anywhere you stream podcasts, you can hear it. She talks to amazing people with amazing stories, and everyone is consistently vulnerable and open. And in that openness, there's so much truth and so much empowerment just by being honest. I don't even think people are on there trying to preach. They're just telling their stories and the questions that you ask. just takes it to this place. I can hear people having epiphanies in real time, like in their voices sometimes. And
That's
it's
awesome.
beautiful.
Yeah, I wanted to create like a virtual safe space because a lot of people can't afford therapy.
Hmm.
So, a lot of the times we have friends, that's the strong friends that always say they're okay and they're really not
Hmm.
okay. And I wanted to bring like that comfort to your ears when you're listening to the podcast. So you feel like you're sitting with a friend, just like a tea party. I wanted it to feel like you were sitting at a therapist's couch, right? And you were actually talking to me as your friend, as your sister, all the things, and just letting me know how you're healing, how you're growing, because I really want to know.
Exactly. And that's exactly what it feels like. She is your favorite Jersey girl, truly. And I'm so happy that she is part of the tea party. I wanted a co-host, but I was nervous about getting into that. That's a big commitment, especially with something as precious and passionate as a project of podcasting. But we
Yeah.
have been through it. We
Yes.
we are seasoned podcast sisters.
Yes, yes. I think are we in the same season? This is season
This is
2 for
season
you?
2. Mhm.
Oh, okay. So I'm a season ahead. Okay, yeah. But it feels like you're just right there with me because you're doing your thing, and I love the verbal tea. And she was so scared, you guys. Like she was like, I didn't think I could ask you. And I'm like, for you, of course I would, because I just love you.
Yes, it's true. I don't know why I was so scared because she's always the first share. I see the little share and it's like, my favorite podcast is live. That's always you.
Yeah. I love your show because I love journaling. So I'm a 90s. This is another tidbit about me. I am a 90s fanatic. I love 90s shows, 90s music, 90s whatever. And Moesha was one of my favorite shows growing up. So
Yes.
the whole journaling aspect I grew up with, right? So then as you get older, you kind of shy away from the journaling. But when I listen to yours and I'm like, she's on a podcast about journaling. This is dope. This is different. I like unique things. And, like I said earlier, everybody has a podcast. So everybody kind of has the same niche or subject matter, but yours is so different. I just was like, oh, I fell in love because it's journaling and it's different.
Thank you. I feel like it's so niche. Sometimes it feels like it's too niche. But there's no such thing. There's no such thing, honestly, because I listen to the most niche podcast ever. Like, who listens to a podcast about data analysis? Me. So
You.
so if there's space for that, and I mean there's a whole podcast on SEO and just like weird nerdy things and podcasts about shows that people like, rewatching them. So there's a space for everyone here.
It
And there are
is.
people that journal or who want to and don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And so I'm really enjoying this. And I'm enjoying meeting people who are also in like healing places and healing spaces and seeing what they can bring to the table because you have your own prompted journal.
Yeah. And then with you, like you said, going back into not knowing what to journal, you provide prompts. So it's like, oh, now I know what I could write about. So, you give all of these useful tools that people can really sit down and write. And it goes hand in hand because they can get a prompt from you and a journal from me. And then
Yes.
so it just goes hand in hand. It's just a divine connection. I love it. I'm excited.
Yes. All right. So since we're getting the tea party familiar with you, let's talk about how we met. Can we talk about it?
Oh, yeah, if you know, because I don't remember. We be on so many group chats, I don't even know.
That's how we met. We met in a group chat where there was this person who wanted to create a group chat for, well, I thought it was going to be a group, but a group chat for new people who have questions, like new podcasters who have questions. She was making herself available to be a resource and for us to be a resource to each other. But SheRa and I, it was a group chat, y'all. A group chat of like double digits, people in the double digits sharing information and chatting up, some just saying hey. And we're like, this is not an environment conducive to learning.
because we have like the same brain. So it's like
Yes.
we're very analytical, and it's like, I can't learn this way. It's just too much going on at the same time. And I need structure. I need some type of organization. So let's just make a group, like an actual group and not a group chat. That wasn't the whole premise to what the podcaster wanted. So we was like, okay, we'll make our own.
Yep.
And we've been tight ever since.
Ev Ever since, I feel like now we talk more about other things than podcasting. We do
Yeah.
talk about podcasting quite a lot because we're always doing it, and that's our passion
Hmm.
and our safe space, but we talk about a lot of stuff now.
Yeah. Sometimes it's good to just turn your brain off for a little
Oh,
bit. And then,
absolutely.
we have small children, so
Mhm.
we talk about that, we relate about that, and just life in general, because we like to have things scheduled. So that's a pet peeve when stuff is just like all over the place. No, I need for you to have a schedule. So we both like that. And that's why we work well together, because we both can collaborate our schedules.
Yeah. No, seriously, that is the hard thing about having collaborating with anyone is scheduling because some people have different ways. Some people like to just go off the hip, like I'll pop in when I'll pop in, but I have to schedule things. And Shira has just a full life like me and a commitment to her family and her real, outside physical life. She's just as committed. So it's just no tension there, no conflict. Like there's a mutual understanding.
And those time zones. That is
Oh,
like probably the worst thing when dealing with podcasting, because we're on different time zones. So
mhm.
it's a 2 hour difference
Yep.
between us, because I'm an Eastern and you're a Mountain. So even doing that is a whole juggling act, because it's like, okay, we're gonna do a show at what time? Oh well, no, that time doesn't work for me. Like everybody has different schedules, so it's just nice when it can come together. And for us, it just always seems to come together. So it just had to work.
That's because we have planners.
True.
Anytime I'm talking, anytime you see me on camera, you see me looking down because I'm looking down at my planner.
It's like, no, I can do that on this day because I have this, but I'm free this day. And I'm like, that's 3 weeks from now. How'd she know? Because she done planned it out, y'all.
Yes.
Love it.
Oh, well, okay. So that is how I met my podcast sister. She
Mhm.
became my podcast cousin, and then we evolved to sistership.
Yeah, we got close, close.
Close, close. And I thought our first episode together was amazing.
Shout out to Arthur, Nikki, Nicole.
Oh,
Love you,
love you
sissy.
so much. She dropped so much wisdom and she was so honest. I've been obsessed. I made what 16 reels this weekend because it was just
She
too
really
good.
did. She was super focused. Like she was so quiet in the chat. I was like, "Where are you at?" She just pops out with all of these reels, you guys. It was crazy.
It's so great because we're discussing freedom, and in freedom is like companionship and friendship, and I just felt that. I felt so free around a group of people, and you could see that it really translates in that episode.
Yeah, she did an amazing job just with the poetry, and then
Mhm.
just her vulnerability. And, that kind of pivoted me to write something too. And I haven't written poem in years. So
Yes.
it was just like a spiral. Like I said, she's just that domino effect. Like it was an amazing episode. And it was right on time because, everybody doesn't celebrate 4th of July. Some people do Juneteenth, but they're right behind each other. So
Mhm.
just the aspect of being free in general, like people need to realize that they are free to do life how they want to do it. And if you're in a situation where you feel like you can't, then that's not the situation you need to be in, because you need to feel weightless, whether it's a job, a relationship, friendships. Life is too short. Why would you want to be around something that holds you down?
Exactly. And I feel like we talk about it, and maybe I should have covered it in a later time of the year, but I'm hoping it sticks right now since it's the holiday. We need to contemplate our freedom often. It's a practice, it's not just a word. It is a practice and a commitment to your fulfillment, to you writing the terms of your own life. It's not just a holiday. It's not.
Yeah, it's a daily lifestyle.
Mhm. And I think people think it's this far away thing. And that's why I loved having Nikki on there to introduce it, and having you on there, because you guys both have gone through these big transitions and said, this is the life I want, this is my truth, and I'm walking in it. And I want the tea party and other people to see that glow. I want them to hear the story that led to that, you know?
It's definitely different when you're on the opposite end of that. And once you know what freedom feels like, it's like you can't go back to being bound. Like there is no possible way that you can ever ever go back to that. And you don't even know that you're bound until you are free. Like it's like, wow, I was really thinking like that. Like if you look at pictures during that time, you look different. If you
Mm,
listen to stuff like, even I love Facebook for the memories purposes. When I look at my memories during that time, it's like even the memories of stuff I was typing was different than how I feel and think now, because you're
mhm.
under a different microscope. It's an amazing thing.
I love that. That is the benefit of the digital world. We get to look back and it puts things in perspective. Oh, I my memories are a trip.
Right. I can imagine.
I went through all kinds of phases. I'm so happy for the people that have stuck around me for all of that. And I could still see the truth in my spirit during that time. It just had
Hmm.
to, it's, as time has passed, it's claiming its power more and more. And I'm like coming out of my shell as time goes on. There are
Yeah.
things I shied away from
Evolving.
that now I'm like, I'm owning it. I'm every woman. I'm out here.
And those situations also show you who should be around and who shouldn't.
Hmm.
Because like you said, you have people that stuck with you throughout it all, but then there's people that just leave, in the midst of you going through it. So it's like, they shouldn't have been here. And you don't see it because you have, as you say, rose colored glasses on. But
Hmm.
once you get that veil taken off, it's like, wow, okay, that's what's up. You were seasonal, just like this situation.
Exactly. And man, most people are seasonal. It's a hard truth, but most people are seasonal. The biggest thing that we need to free ourselves from, one of the biggest things, are expectations. Ex-
Yes.
Expectations we put on ourselves from other people, and those that we have for other people.
Yeah, because the expectations to get your feelings hurt. Because
Mm,
everybody's not you. Everybody doesn't love how you love. Everybody doesn't handle people the way you handle people. So the moment you realize that, the better off you'll be, because you'll be sitting here expecting
mhm.
you from other people, and you're not gonna get that.
It's true. That's why you just have to know what your terms are. These are my terms and conditions. This is my fulfillment contract. I don't know. Let's see if you fit in there.
And that's all about authenticity. You got to be
Hmm.
vulnerable. You have to know yourself,
Oh,
because if you don't, you will settle. Like you said, if you have a whole list, just because I like you, that doesn't mean you are supposed to be in my life. There's a lot of good people that come across your world, but they're not supposed to be in your life. They're not for you. They're just good people. That's just like when people be like, you're a wife material, or I need to find my wife, whatever. Your wife, you're a husband. Like you are a wife, but you might not be the person you're with's wife or
right.
husband. So you have to find the people that are for you, your tribe.
That's true. And this goes into my personality. Kindness is my default. I am always finding the reason why people are the way they are. I'm like, this is why they are the way they are. But I can see it, I can acknowledge it, and still keep my distance.
Exactly. Love them from afar.
Hmm.
Exactly. Hmm.
Like
And you
I'm
need people around you that will care for
mhm,
your kindness. They won't take
yes.
advantage of it. Like, okay, I know Kay is super nice, so I'm not going to take advantage of this about her. I'm going to protect that. You
Mhm.
need people that's going to protect that. Like, no, no, don't ask her. I'm telling you, because she's going to say yes, even though I know she don't want to. I'm telling you, she can't do that. Like, you don't need people that's going to drain you. You need people that's going to help keep you fulfilled and restored.
Yes, and my schedule helps me with that. That's why I like my planner is my excuse, you know? I'm like, "Oh, I can't. I literally can't. It's not there's no block of time."
You will block out some time. Okay, I'm going to block out this time right now.
That's how I do it. And I am a recovering people pleaser. I think one thing when we talk about freedom from people that drain us, we forget that like we need to look out for ourselves too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Self-love is definitely a lifestyle as well. You have to have boundaries. You have
Mhm.
to take time to prioritize yourself and what keeps you being you. Whether it's going to get your hair done, nails done, haircut, whatever. If you're a
Yes.
guy, even if it's something as small as, like for me, I have a 4-year-old. So before he gets up, I need to get up a half an hour before him so I can get my time, so I
Mhm.
am functional before he comes and just Tasmanian devils all around the house. Like, that's just me. That's something that I know I have, because if I don't, I'm gonna be cranky. Then I'm gonna take it out on him. Then I'm gonna go to work and I'm gonna be irritated. So
Mhm.
I have to do that 30-minute me time, or it's not gonna be a good day.
I love that. So 30 minutes before. I like to not mess with my phone until I'm at my desk. Like
Yeah.
until I'm ready to go. Coffee,
Hmm.
done, everything ready to go.
Yeah.
That's why when you guys heard me talk today, it was what, maybe almost 11 o'clock. I'm
Almost
like,
like, yeah.
it's like this is the
Hmm.
first time I've talked today. It feels good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 30 minutes before. And then when he goes to bed, 30 minutes after. Cause then I gotta,
Mm.
and yeah,
Woosah.
yes, the day away. And then I can rest. I can go to sleep. I can clear my mind. And then yeah.
It's got to be like that. And sometimes the nights are. I know when my children were younger, it was later. I had later nights because they would fight sleep. But I'm like, you know what? By hook or by crook, y'all gonna get to bed, and after I get to bed, I'm gonna get my time, even
I
if
know
it's
that's right.
10. Oh, but yes, I also want to say like we don't have to vilify people. I think like freeing ourselves from polarizing people, like just polarizing views of them, like they're a bad person. Like, no, this is literally what they're about. Whether they're bad or good or whatever, I don't even care. I just know that don't fit in my life, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. Like Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, you believe them. And DMX says something too. He's like, you gotta trust people to be who they're gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know a person is about a certain type of, they have a certain way about them, trust them to be that way. And if that doesn't align with you, that's fine. They, like you said earlier, love them from afar, but understand that's who they are and that's it. Like, it's just in their nature. It doesn't align with me, but I wish you love, grace, positivity, all that. Just in this space right here, this is what I need. And just be okay with that, because
Mm-hmm.
those people will come. Your tribe will definitely come.
That's a mouthful right there. That's so true. Like just accept it when they show you who they are. If they tell you, because we have had some experiences, we won't put anything on blast, but we've had experiences where people made it very clear they didn't even really
Yeah.
lie about what they were about. They said
No.
it.
And because we love people so, or we have the desire to love, or have community, or we like them as a person, we'll make permanent or temporary people permanent.
Mm,
And that's not what they're for. They're here to do a specific job, and that's it. But because we like them, because we love them, we'll keep giving them chance after chance after chance, and we're breaking our own heart because they told us, and our, what you just said, or showed us in the beginning, that it wasn't going to align the way that we're trying to go. If you're going somewhere that's 2 hours and the person is going somewhere that's an hour, they're not going to stay on the ride with you, because they're supposed to get off at a certain time and you're supposed to get off at a certain time. So while they're on that journey for that first hour, enjoy that first hour. And then you have to take the journey, you're, there you go with the visuals.
I know. That's all I was thinking.
And then enjoy the rest of that hour that you have. You might be somebody else.
Yep.
So it's like you gotta just, man, you just gotta enjoy the journey. Love the people when they come, and then love them when they leave, because once they're removed, somebody better is coming along.
Right. Somebody better fitted and suited for where you're heading next. But You can't hold on. Just free yourself from the expectations of people. And that doesn't mean let people walk over you. What it means is you come up with what you need. You keep your map out. You keep your planner open for you. Keep your eyes on your planner.
Exactly.
And if they can't fit in those blocks of time, they can't fit. Like
Yeah,
it's that simple. It is difficult at first, but when you really tap into, I want to do what's best for me. I want to be the fairest to myself because that's how I can best serve anybody. It changes it.
absolutely. I definitely agree.
I have a question.
Sure.
As a mother, do you think that because you are a mom and like you said earlier today, that our family is our first ministry, do you think that helps you hold yourself accountable for your boundaries that you've created?
Now, before, no. Before I was just like on autopilot. So now that I'm older, I definitely have more boundaries, and I know that, my family, my children, they're my first ministry. And if you go against the grain, then you gotta go, because I have to be true to the people that I was given,
Mhm.
like God made me a steward over them. So everything that I do have to align with them, because that's what was given to me. Everything else will flow after that. So it's like your cup, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Mhm.
Everybody should get the overflow of what's already being poured into you, not you pouring out what's in your cup and then you're empty. So I have to make sure that, as a mom, that I schedule things according to my children, my job, my this, my that. And if it doesn't align with them, then it's not for me. And that's a key indicator for me now. I
Mm,
didn't know that then, but that's a key indicator to know what's for me and what's not for me. Because if it's for me, it'll align with their schedule. And if it's not, then it won't.
I like that. If it's for you, you don't have to make compromises at their expense. And that's how I think about it
Yeah.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Even what
Yep.
I talk about, like there's even a podcast, I don't hate them, but I know that's not where I want to spend my energy because of the recharge time to recalibrate. And it's like I don't really have the spoons to recalibrate from being in that space.
Yeah.
Or sorry, there's some low energy topics that I just don't have the space to
Yeah.
elevate. Right now I don't have the spoons to elevate it to match my brand. So I'm like, that's not for me.
And it's not saying it in a cocky way.
Mm-mm.
It's just knowing who you are as a person and where you're trying to go. And like you said, your brand, everything does not align with you and your brand. And that's not saying that that's a brand that's low level or you're a higher level. It's just everybody's going in different directions. And for me, I have to align with mental health brands. I have to
Mhm.
align with things that's going to keep my mental health going well, so I can continue to pour out. So I have to be poured into, and I have to align with things that pour into me so I can continue to pour into other people. And if it doesn't help me pour into other people, I can't waste my hour or 30 minutes to listen or invest.
Yes. And when I say low level, I don't even mean like the topics. I don't actually believe there's low level topics, but there are topics that will bring me to a low level. And I have
Exactly.
to be
Yes.
honest about that.
Hmm.
Like, oh, I'm not going to have the spoons to challenge myself to, engage in this topic in an elevated way. So I just got to stay away.
Now, every now and then, if I want the Jersey City to come out of me,
Yeah.
I'll listen to it. As you say, I will box out some time to listen to something like that. But for the most part, I have to listen to stuff that'll pour into me. And then I'm like, oh, this is good motivation. This is sparking up some type of inspiration for this episode or whatever. Because as a podcaster, any and everything could be a topic. You can have a conversation.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good topic. Let me write that down. So you got to always constantly keep your eyes and ears open so you can have motivation for your platform.
That's a good point. Everything is inspiration. I'm like, ooh, I then
Oof, oof.
oof. Then you're like, that would be a good journal prompt. And there are
Hmm.
prompts in here that I've just explored on my own. I'm just experimenting, seeing what comes out. And I'm like, maybe I could make this part of
Yeah.
season 4 because season 3 is
Yeah.
planned. But
Yeah.
we do have to keep our eyes out. So what we consume, that can
It's
bind you
key.
or free you.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. As a podcaster and in general,
Hmm.
what you consume. That's with food, that's with anything. What
Anything.
you consume will either bind you or free you. Yeah, then you need to make that a journal prompt. Look at you. What have you consumed lately? Has it bound you or has it freed you?
Listen to that. That is a great entry. I'm going to put that at the top. That is good. Okay. That is something you guys need to write on. If y'all write on that, let us know because I am going to write on
Absolutely.
that. You do have to assess what you're consuming because sometimes, look, we're human and we're multifaceted. Sometimes you just got to get ratchet. You just got to honor that part of yourself, right?
Yes. Yes.
But, for a fun time, not a long time.
Yes, that's
Get in,
key.
get out.
Yes.
It's about balance.
I love it.
Oh, because I love me some like ratchet music every now and then, but after a certain point, I'm like, okay,
Now that's me with the TV, like a
that's me.
good loving hip hop. You get me like a reality TV show, like on my weekends when he's with his dad. That Sawan, that's it
Yes.
for me. Like I don't want to hear nothing about no podcast. I don't want. I'm off. My brain is off. So when I'm off, I could be ratchet. I can enjoy the ratchetness. But then I got to turn it back. It's only a couple of hours. But then the next day we back to it because I can't go too long. Because I'm gonna stay there, and we don't want us to stay there.
Right, right. A few hours, like, two,
Exactly.
maybe two. But
Yeah.
then that's enough. I'm like, I got it. Cool. I've honored that part of myself.
Yeah.
Moving on. I love it. So, Ratchet TV, what are the Ratchet TV picks?
Love and hip hop, definitely. Anything on OWN, I love OWN. So I
Mm.
love Love and Marriage Huntsville. Um, what else am I watching right now? I love Power, just all the stuff, like all the stuff that I'm not supposed to be watching. I love to watch, like violent, cursing, just all that stuff. I just love it. But yeah, that's only for a couple of hours. And luckily, even that, like you said earlier, everything is seasonal. Even that
Mhm.
has its seasons. So, you have a couple episodes, they give you a couple episodes and they take a break. So that's just like in life, everything has a season.
Yes. I know, and I feel bad. I'm gonna be real honest right now. Oof. I love ratchet music, okay? But right now I am not in the season for ratchet music. I'm in like my jazz bag for some reason. And
Yeah.
I don't know why. It just happens, okay? I don't make the rules. So I feel bad. I'm missing, Meg the Stallion's her new album came out and I can't connect with it because I'm just not there right now. So like get me in the fall or something. I don't know. I don't know when I'll be
Yeah.
back in that mode, but
When
I'm
it's
just
the time to connect with it, you'll connect with it. Right
not.
now, you're in your performer vibe. You're just getting ready for your shows. Like you need creativity music, and that's what that is, the jazz.
Yes. So I can't relate. I'm like late to the party. I didn't connect. It feels like a flop, but we'll see. I like 3 songs. And even those, I was like, I don't like them enough to listen to them again. We heard the whole album. That's enough. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going back to my Esther Jones playlist.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I'm into jazz right now.
Because you're in performance mode. So you're
Yeah.
getting yourself ready. And it's the summertime. Jazz is dope in the summertime. It
Mhm.
calms you, it's soothing. And I guess maybe because you're in your season with the podcast. So maybe you use that to like write or, allow you to create prompts. So it works.
Something about the bass, the sax, like it's just a
It
vibe.
works. Yeah, jazz is definitely a vibe.
I love that. But we have to be free enough to know that too. Like we have seasons. We're seasonal people.
Yeah.
And I think people expect us to show up and we put that pressure on ourselves to show up the same way all the time. But
Yeah.
that's
And you got to be okay with knowing what spaces you evolve in, like you
ooh.
said, like I know that I am people don't like to say it, an introvert, right? So I know for me, I'm gonna give you a good hour, but now I'm gonna need 2 or 3 by
Mhm.
myself to kind of like regroup. And then I could come back out for another hour. Like you gotta know who you are and what drains you and what fuels you. And I think for you, you know that you're in that season now where you're like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna, I can't commit to that right now. You say it so nice. You be like, I can't commit to that right now. I can try to schedule it in sometime, but like right now, not right now. Like I love that. But you have to know that. And I think we all, like our group, the Winner Circle, shout out to the Winner Circle. I think we're all in that season where we
Mhm.
are finally stepping into a place where we know, okay, this is where I reign supreme and this is where I need help in. So
Mhm.
you are good here, I'm good here. Let's put it together and then we can just dominate.
Yes, we are. Because first it was just like free love, you know? But now it's like, I love you. What you got going on? Because this is what I got going on. Okay.
Mhm.
Best of luck. Best of luck.
Yeah.
Let's all
And
move
they're
in
like,
our.
okay, you got this. Okay, well, I'm good at this. So I'm going to help you with this
Yep.
to get better at this. So let me show you how to do it so you can get better at it. Like,
Yes.
get on your level of this, but I'm going to show you how I do it. Like, I love that. And not too many times we find people, a lot of people like the gatekeep. And that was one of the things that you and I really connected with because we didn't like to gatekeep. We would just
Mm-mm.
spill everything like, yeah, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Oh,
Yep.
I know how to do this. I'll help you. Listen, y'all, she'll send me a Google form or something in a minute. Okay. Like I can literally, we have a conversation and I kid you not, within the hour, there will be a Google form about what we talked about. Okay. Like this is not, again, like she is so, when I say, I thought I was organized.
Oh,
She
you
is
are.
organized. Okay. If organized was a person,
Bullet
that is
points are
glow.
gay, okay?
I love it. I love it.
Oh man, I'll send like a Word doc form from like a Google Doc form in a hot
She
minute.
will. She will. She'll
I
be
love it
typing while
though.
you talking, like, okay. And she'll still be attentive. Like I can't do it. I can't walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. Like, I just can't do it. I'm either gonna be in and then I'll do it, but she doing it while she talking to y'all. Like you be like, yep. And you don't even know. And then when the meeting is over, she'll send you a document. Like, this is everything we talked about. Okay, this is my thoughts. This is the suggestions. I'm like, how did you have time to do this while people are talking?
Just blame. I give glory to God, okay, and the church for that. You do take notes, and my dad.
Yes.
You guys,
Yes.
y'all saw my dad in episode
Mhm.
2. That man
Mhm.
is so inspired, and he talks so much, and he's like, "What did I say?" And I'm like, "I got it right here." Like it just like helped.
I love it. We appreciate you for that because you keep us organized.
Look, my boss's boss will ask me for notes. Like
Wow.
they're like, "I know you have it somewhere," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's right here."
How do you want it? Do you want it in a Word document, a PDF, or how?
Right. Did you want me to convert it to a PowerPoint? I can add some images, you know?
I love it.
But that is why we are the dream team, y'all. I wanted you
Yes,
guys to get to know SheRa Renee just a little bit. You guys are going to get to know her a lot of it as these episodes go on. We had such a positive reaction
we did.
from
It's
the episode.
exciting.
I knew it was going to be. She's like, let's see if they want to keep me. And I'm like, oh, they're going to want to keep
Yeah,
you.
because we can't just be making decisions for the people. Like the people gotta say yes or no. So I wanted to give the people an opportunity.
That's fair, cause we're allowed to be like, "Who all over there?" Cause we talk about boundaries, right? So, Tea Party's allowed to ask that question.
Right. Like who is this? Harpo, who is this woman? Like, no. Get out of here.
But they loved it. It was so good, and then, of course, I just have been, like, bigging it up with all of the reels. There's
Yeah,
more to
you made me
come.
look good because them reels, you did an amazing job. And then it was just a breeze because we had Nikki and we was just so I mean, it was the greatest first intro episode ever. So I'm appreciative.
Me too. If anything, you guys, let this union inspire you to be free to do it your way, okay? Life is BK. Do it your way. Stay true to your deep, true inner self and just watch magic happen.
Absolutely. See the stars? Yeah.
Yeah. Before we go, as always, she is the co-host of Verbal Tea, but you guys also do need to tap into the Bloomish Beauty podcast because it takes what we do to another level. You know, here you write about it. On the Bloomish Beauty podcast, you talk about it, you pray about it, and work it out. So let them
Mm-hmm.
know where
I
they
love
can
that.
tune in.
Okay, you guys. So you can tune into the Blemish Beauty podcast on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and Facebook every Tuesday and Thursday. The audio version is always available at midnight. And then if it's a video, because I do interviews sometimes, the interviews will live stream at 7 p.m. And those are both at Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, perfect. And definitely tune in. And you can look at my page, Verbal Tea, on Facebook because almost at least once a week I'm posting about the episodes because they're so good. But also, you can follow Verbal Tea on Facebook at Verbal Tea, on YouTube at Verbal Tea, and then at Verbal Tea Time on Instagram and TikTok. I am more active on there, you guys. So tap in. As you know, as always, everything will be in the show notes for you guys to click, follow, and get this elevated word. I hope you all have a great rest of your week. Until next time, be intentional with your thoughts. Focus on surviving. Oops. Focus on thriving instead of surviving. And be well.